Alright, so you see all these videos online, these perfect projects coming together like magic. You see the seamless joints, the flawless finishes, and you think, man, how do they do that? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, the unglamorous truth of it all. Behind every one of those perfect projects, there's usually a pile of mistakes, a few near disasters, and a handful of weird, custom-made tools that save the day. It's not always about having the biggest, most expensive saw, or the fanciest CNC machine. More often than not, it's about the clever little fixes, the quick and dirty solutions you invent on the fly to get yourself out of a jam. These solutions, these little shop-made tools, they're the real unsung heroes of the workshop. They don't get the glory, but they do the heavy lifting. Today I'm gonna pull back the curtain and show you 3 of my most trusted allies. These aren't complex, they aren't pretty, but they have consistently solved some of the most common, most frustrating woodworking dilemmas I face. We're talking about a dado sled that never fails, a clamping jig that guarantees perfect corners, and a push block that makes dangerous cuts safe and simple. These are my secret weapons, born out of necessity, and they've saved more projects than I can count. So, forget about the million-dollar shop tours for a minute. This video is about working smarter, not harder. It's about building your own solutions to your own unique problems. It's about how a few pieces of scrap wood and a little bit of ingenuity can elevate your craft more than any shiny new machine ever could. This is the stuff they don't always show you, but it's the stuff that really matters. So stick around, because we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of problem solving. First up is a jig that deals with one of the biggest pains in the neck for any woodworker cutting dados and grooves. You know the drill. You need to cut a slot for a shelf or a back panel. You measure your material, you set up your blade, you make the cut, and it's either too tight to fit or so loose it rattles around. Plywood is the worst for this. It's never the thickness it says it is. A 3/4 inch piece is never actually 3/4 of an inch. It's a constant battle, and it can turn a simple cabinet build into an absolute nightmare of trial and error, wasting time and good material. That's where this thing comes in. I call it the frustration eliminator. It's a simple sled for my table saw, but with a twist. It's adjustable. I made it years ago out of some scrap MDF and a few bits of hardware. The concept is simple. You make one pass with your saw, and then you can micro-adjust the fence on the sled itself to widen the cut on the second pass. You don't have to mess with the blade, you don't have to add shims to your dado stack, you don't have to do any of that nonsense. It gives you infinite control over the width of your dado. The real beauty of it is in the process. You take the actual piece of wood you need to fit into the groove, the shelf, the divider, whatever it is. You use that piece itself as your gauge. You make your first cut, place the piece in the groove, and then slide the adjustable fence right up against it until it's perfectly snug. Lock it down. Make your second pass, and what you're left with is a dado that is custom fit to that exact piece of material. It's not almost right, it's not close enough, it's perfect, every single time. There's no measuring, no calipers, no math. Look at this here, I'm building a simple bookshelf. This plywood shelf is supposed to be 1/2 inch, but it's actually a little undersized. If I used a standard 1/2 inch blade, I'd have a sloppy joint. But with the sled, I make my first pass. Now, I take the shelf, drop it into the cut I just made. I slide this fence over until it just kisses the edge of the shelf. A little twist of these knobs locks it in place. Now I run the workpiece through again, and there it is, a perfect friction-fit joint. It slides in with just a little bit of pressure, no slop at all. This jig lives right next to my table saw. I probably use it on half the projects that come through this shop. It's made out of junk, it's covered in glue and saw marks, but it's one of the most valuable tools I own. It represents a solution. I had a recurring problem, a point of constant frustration, and instead of just living with it, I took an hour and built something to solve it permanently. That's the mindset. Find the friction, and then build the tool that makes it smooth. This sled is the embodiment of that idea. Alright, let's talk about glue-ups, specifically boxes and cabinets. Getting 2 pieces to join at a perfect clean 90-degree angle is the foundation of casework, but it's so easy to get wrong. You get your glue on, you start applying clamps, and suddenly things start to shift. One corner pulls in, the other pushes out. You're fighting the clock as the glue starts to set, wrestling with clamps, trying to get everything square. By the time you're done, you're stressed out, covered in glue, and your box looks more like a rhombus than a square. We've all been there. This is my solution. It's a custom corner clamping jig, and it's another one of those tools that looks like nothing special but works like a charm. I've got a few of them in different sizes. It's basically just two thick straight pieces of plywood or MDF joined together at a perfect 90-degree angle, with a backer to keep them stable. The inside corner is the reference surface. It's dead square. When you're gluing up a corner, you nest your two workpieces right into this jig, and it forces them into alignment. It's like having a third and fourth hand that happen to be perfectly square. The key is that it applies pressure evenly and in the right direction. When you use regular clamps on a corner joint, they can sometimes pull the joint apart or skew it. This jig provides a solid, immovable reference. You push your pieces into the corner of the jig, and then you can use a simple F-clamp or a band clamp around the outside to apply pressure. The jig ensures that the pressure is distributed evenly, and that the joint can't do anything but come together at a perfect 90 degrees. It takes all the guesswork and all the panic out of the glue-up process. I remember building a set of custom kitchen cabinets a while back. They were big carcasses, and getting them square was critical. Any error at the glue-up stage would have thrown off the doors, the drawers, everything. I used 4 of these jigs, one on each corner of the cabinet box. I'd get the panels glued and assembled, drop them into the jigs, and then use band clamps to pull everything tight. It made the process so much more controlled and predictable. I knew that as long as my jigs were square, my cabinets would be square. It was a lifesaver on that project. You can see here, I'm just gluing up a simple drawer box. I'll put a jig on the inside corner, and another on the outside. Now I can apply a clamp across the whole assembly. See how that works? The jig holds the two pieces in a perfect right angle, while the clamp provides the pressure. There's no slipping, no sliding, it just works. And again, this is made from scraps. It probably took me 20 minutes to make the first one, and it has paid me back 1,000 times over by ensuring my projects come out square, strong, and professional looking. Safety is everything in the shop. We work with powerful tools that can do serious damage in a split second, and a lot of the time, the most dangerous operations involve small or awkwardly shaped pieces. You're trying to rip a thin strip on the table saw or run a small piece over the jointer, and you can't get a good grip on it. Your fingers get way too close to the blade or the cutter head. It's that moment of hesitation, that feeling of this is probably not a good idea, that we need to listen to. Ignoring it is how accidents happen. This jig is my answer to that feeling. It's more than just a push stick, it's a multi-purpose push block and hold down jig. It's another simple creation, just a block of wood with a handle. But it has a few key features. It has a replaceable heel at the back to push the workpiece through the cut. It has a grippy, rubber-like sole on the bottom to provide traction. And most importantly, it's substantial. It allows me to apply firm, even pressure downwards and forwards, keeping the wood flat on the table and tight against the fence, all while my hands are a safe distance away. The versatility is where it really shines. On the table saw, it's perfect for ripping thin strips or cutting small parts to final dimension. The grippy sole prevents slipping, and the big handle gives me total control over the workpiece. But I also use it on the joiner. When you're face joining a small or thin board, it can be sketchy to do with just your hands. This push block lets me apply pressure over the top of the board, keeping it flat and stable as it passes over the cutter head. I even use it at the router table for running small profiles or grooves. Let me show you. I need to rip a 1/4-inch wide piece of maple off this board. Getting my fingers in that little space between the blade and the fence is a non-starter. It's just not safe. So, I grab this push block. The heel catches the back of the board, the sole holds it down, and I can guide it through the cut smoothly and safely. My hand is up here on the handle, nowhere near the danger zone. The cut is cleaner too, because the downward pressure prevents chatter and ensures the wood stays tight to the saw table. It's a perfect example of a tool that improves both safety and efficiency. I'm not just safer when I use it, I'm faster and more confident. I don't have to hesitate or second-guess the operation. I can just focus on making a good, clean cut. And like the other jigs, this was born from a need. I made the first version after a close call years ago, and I've been refining the design ever since. It's a constant reminder that the best tools are the ones that not only help you do the work, but also make sure you can come back and do it again tomorrow. So, there you have it. 3 simple, shop-made jigs that have become absolute game changers for me. a dado sled, a corner clamp, and a push block. They're not fancy, they're not expensive, but the value they bring to my workflow is immense. They save me time by making complex tasks repeatable and predictable. They save me material by drastically reducing the number of mistakes and missed cuts. And most importantly, they improve the overall quality of my work by ensuring precision and safety where it counts the most. These are the tools that work behind the scenes to make the final product look effortless. Now, I want you to take a look around your own shop. Think about the tasks that always give you trouble. What's that one thing you're always fighting with? Maybe it's drilling perfectly straight holes, or cutting repeatable angles, or sanding small parts without rounding them over. Every one of those recurring problems is an opportunity. It's a chance for you to step back, get creative, and build your own custom solution. Your best jig will be the one you design to solve your most persistent problem. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work for you. This is the kind of stuff I love to share. The real practical tips and problem-solving insights that make a difference in your day-to-day work. It's an endless journey of learning and improving, and I've got a lot more to show you. So, if you got something out of this, if it sparked an idea for your own shop, do me a favor, and hit that subscribe button. We're going to be diving into a lot more of these smart solutions and shop-built tools in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.